Special sitting to hear an appeal against the nomination of James Onyango Koyo as the ODM candidate for the Muhoroni parliamentary seat. The sitting follows an application filed by former Member of Parliament, Professor Oyecho Olwenyi, contesting a decision of the Court of Appeal which cleared Koyo as the ODM nominee. During the primaries in May, Koyo was declared winner with 18,669 votes against Olwenyi's 6,648 votes. The political parties' dispute tribunal declined to make a ruling in the Oyecho Olwenyi petition, saying it would not interfere with the decision of the party's internal dispute resolution mechanism, opening a door for a legal tussle. Now, today's case will be heard by Chief Justice David Maraga, Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, Justices Mohammed Ibrahim, Smokin Wanjala, and Justice Isaac Lenaola. Should Olwenyi's appeal be allowed, the Muhoroni parliamentary election will be postponed. Well, let's now speak live to our Rita Tinina, who is following up on this report. Rita, this is quite a big case. I think it is the first time we're seeing the Supreme Court sit on a Sunday, isn't it?
Well, Michelle, you're right. This is one of those very rare occasions that the court, not just any court, not the High Court, not the Court of Appeal, but the Supreme Court is sitting here on a Sunday. Any moment from now, the 5 judges of the Supreme Court, led by the President of the Supreme Court, who is also the Chief Justice, David Maraga, will be sitting to hear that petition by Oyecho Olwenyi. And he is challenging the nomination, the awarding of the nomination certificate, the ODM nomination certificate to the incumbent Member of Parliament for Muhoroni, that is Onyango Koyo. This is a case, as you mentioned, the petition started way early after the nomination exercise in May. Then when the incumbent Member of Parliament was declared the winner, Oyecho Olwenyi tried to petition it through the ODM party internal dispute resolution mechanism. Then the party still maintained Koyo as the winner of the nomination exercise. He moved to the political parties disputes tribunal. That as well refused to interfere with what he termed as the decision of the party dispute resolution. He then moved to the High Court, and the High Court declared him the winner. But in that instance, then Koyo moved to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal declared that Koyo was the winner. And so Oyecho Olwenyi then moved to the Supreme Court, and that is what the court will be sitting today to hear that case. But interestingly, this comes just a day to the elections, and many have been wondering why then would the Supreme Court wait until today. But remember, there are laws, there are procedures when filing a case within which you can file, within which there can be responses from both parties. And so this is when the Supreme Court will be sitting to hear that case. And if the Supreme Court then declares that Oyecho Olwenyi is the winner, or whichever way this one goes, it depends, the Supreme Court can then postpone the election on Tuesday, and the members of constituency in Muhoroni, those who will be voting there, the electoral, then will not be able to vote for a Member of Parliament. So a very interesting day here at the Supreme Court, an unprecedented case here. We are waiting to see how this one goes today, when the sitting will happen today, whether the judges will decide to make a ruling in the very shortest time possible by tomorrow, or whether this case then will still hang on even after Kenyans go to the polls on Tuesday. Michelle.
Absolutely, Rita. And that was the next question. I mean, how long is this likely to take, considering that the election is just about less than 48 hours away? Does it mean that the hearing and the ruling will be taking place on the same day?
Well, it will be interesting to see. It depends on what the judges decide. The 5 judges, David Maraga, his Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, other judges, Mohammed Ibrahim, Smokin Wanjala, as well as Isaac Lenaola. When they see today, how long will the hearing take? Perhaps the parties, both parties, lawyers representing the 2 people in this case, how much time will they have to give their responses? How much time will the judges have to retreat and make a ruling? And what this will have, what impact it will have on the elections this Tuesday. So we'll wait and see, Michelle.
All right, and Rita, finally, will the media be allowed to follow the proceedings live in this particular hearing?
Well, yes, the media is allowed to cover these proceedings today. As we have been mentioning, this is an unprecedented move, having the Supreme Court sit on such a day. Remember, this is one of those instances. There are very few instances. I can only mention the hearing of a petition in the presidential election, and that is when the law says that case can be heard and should be determined within 14 days. This one, there is no telling how long it will take, but members of the press are allowed to cover this case. Michelle.
All right, many thanks. Rita Tinina, our senior reporter, will be following up on that report and giving us updates as our subsequent bulletins continue. Now, in Garissa, why